Dude, I make 20 G's a month. I can buy a house.
Well, what kind of debt do you have with the 12 cars, 3 boats, 2 snowmobiles, and the partridge in a pear tree? Have you talked to your lender yet?
That's what we're talking about today.
I'm Tyler Kazare, and I'm a real estate agent.
Jason Christiansen, mortgage lender.
Eric Wiss, extraordinary real estate agent. Why? Because we're talking about debt to income.
Yes.
And I just bought a new car, so I can go buy a house now too, right?
With the money you make, yes.
We're good.
Nailed it. Nailed it. We're done.
Okay.
Well, that's a huge thing that I hear all the time is I have a client who makes great money, and they think that they're like, hey, I have a 760 credit score, which if you want to understand that, go watch the last video. So they have great credit. They make $10,000 a month.
Oh, good.
Okay.
I like numbers.
Yeah.
10,000. Good.
Yeah, good. They only want to buy a $500,000 house.
Okay. Sure.
Okay.
So they come at it and they go, we're good. And then they come and talk to you and they go, and you go, you can't even buy a condo.
Yeah, because they bought a new car,
Okay.
Tesla, right? They financed it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So we're talking $700 payment.
And I have an Escalade that they didn't talk about.
They have an
They're still
Escalade that they
making
got
payments on.
That's the winter car.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they've got a $500 payment on that.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got a snowmobile.
And they got
And
recreational
an ATV.
vehicles.
Yeah.
So here's the crazy thing, like auto loans, recreational vehicle loans, their terms are short.
Mhm.
So like, yeah, you got a $100,000 loan, but you're paying that back in 5 years, so your payment's up. So the debt to income, the ratios are all like, lenders are talking about ratios. And the reason why is because it's not the amount of money you have left over, it's the percentage of your money that you have left over.
Right.
Right? So you have your debt to income. So we're going to take your debt and divide it by your income. And what percentage is being used up. Right? And there's
100%.
Ooh.
That's a problem.
Yeah, 50% is a problem.
Yes. It is.
Because the other thing, we're using gross income. Like,
Gross.
This is the bulk that you receive before taxes, before you put money in savings, before
Before anybody takes anything
Or
out,
child
it's
support.
all of this money.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah, so boom, here's your paycheck. This is even money that you realize.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So lenders have determined that between all the loan programs, about roughly half of that can be spoken for. So your house payment is your front or your top end ratio,
Mm-hmm.
and you add all the other payments that need to be paid. So like your cell phone bill doesn't need to be paid, right?
Mhm.
But your
But like
auto payment, your credit card, your everything else, that has to be paid. A pull credit report, the numbers are there, and that all of that with the house ratio is your back end ratio. So your back end ratio, conventional is a little lower, FHA is a little higher, but 50% can be spoken for. Your front end ratio, we typically like an easy number is to say a third.
Mm-hmm.
We can push that higher, and you go crazy, and there's other options, but we want to see somewhere around a third of your income that goes towards the house and half for everything with the house included.
Right.
Easy numbers.
And with some headspace left over so that you don't utilize all of your credit. You don't want to, a lender doesn't want to put someone in a position where they're going to get killed by the loan.
Right.
Because obviously you're not going to get paid back. If they get foreclosed on this house, you're going to have, they're going to have a problem.
The
So
other
the lender
thing-
doesn't want to create that situation.
Yeah, to realize lenders aren't resellers
Yeah.
because they're not in the market.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to foreclose. So I have people saying, I have a huge down payment. You know, my credit score is not good or something. Really fine because I have such a big down payment because if the bank wanted to take it back, they'd make money. Well, the bank doesn't want to.
Yeah, they don't want to.
Yeah.
It costs them.
It does.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of stuff.
Well, and then what they're selling is mortgage-backed securities. They're saying, you give me money, we're going to throw it in, I'll give you a reasonable rate of return.
Mhm.
That prospectus doesn't include foreclosure.
Right.
If you want to do that type of investing, that's a whole other thing.
Well, and then to go back to the debt to income, like you said, it's gross income that is reported.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
reported being a key word.
thing,
Yes.
and there's a lot of people out there that have, side jobs or, however they're getting extra cash, or they have something that sits at their house or whatever, and they have all this stuff, but it has to be reported, and another hard one is like business owners who like to write stuff off because it's for their business. I mean, legitimate things, but that now shows that you're making this.
You have a company that brings in $1 million. I hear this all the time. Well, I make $1 million a year. Well, so the gross receipts from that company is $1 million, and then you spent $700,000 of that purchasing the product.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So then you got $300,000 sitting there, but you got other people that work there, and you pay them
payroll
$200,000,
Mm-hmm.
and then by the time you're done with it, you make $30,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
which is great for taxes,
Right?
Hey, you're
Great for
gonna have
taxes.
to deal with any taxes, but that makes it really, really hard to qualify for a loan.
Exactly.
And all of these things can be fixed and amended and addressed, but not the day that you go look for a home.
It
Not
takes
the
time.
day that you go,
Yeah.
you don't tell the lender everything, and all of a sudden they find out on underwriting, or they pull something at the later time. This comes back to being prepared, talking to agents and a lender months prior to even starting to looking for a home to get everything nailed down. Because if all you had to do was say, hey, you just need to get rid of one car. Well, I can do that. I got 7.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, all I had to do was sell the car and I'm good. But if I found that out 4 months prior, I could have easily done that. Now,
Yeah.
well, shoot, I can't do that now because of time restrictions.
I
or
need that
anything
car
else.
sold this week. I need it sold in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So you move it, you lose $3,000 or $10,000 because you had to move it really quick.
But that's another big one to think of, because a lot of times and nowadays what we're seeing is, everybody wants to keep up with the Joneses. They want to keep up, so they're buying nicer cars. Car loans are getting up to 10-year auto loans and things like that to help people afford it. Well, you have to start weighing of what you're looking at wanting to do. If you're wanting the nice Audi or BMW, you can't now afford the house. Well, maybe go buy something different.
And let your lender know what your plans are.
Yes.
Because
They will find out.
Oh, they're gonna find out no matter what.
They will find
I
out.
myself have not had this happen, but I know multiple loan officers that show up to closing. The clients show up to closing in a new car.
A new truck filled with the new furniture for the new house.
And you got to say, I hope that truck sleeps nice, because you're not getting a mortgage loan anymore.
Yes.
Yeah.
So true.
Right. Yeah. So, kind of one of those things. Is just be aware of what credit you're taking out before. Talk to your lender beforehand.
And how that affects your ratio, because
Yeah.
a little bit of debt offsets your income greatly, and it takes a lot of income
Yes.
to swing that debt.
Yes.
So like at 30%, right?
Mhm.
That's 3 of 10.
Mhm.
One more dollar changes you to 40%.
Yes.
Yeah.
Makes it a problem.
Makes it a huge problem. And just like what you just said, don't try to pull one over on the lender and you give them all your info at the beginning, because majority of lenders re-pull and do things at the last
the
minute.
day before closing or the day of closing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just lost your house.
Yeah.
Like it's not good. You could have given your lease, your rent, your landlord notice that you're moving out, and you've done all this stuff. Like it's not just, hey, we'll just find another one. Especially in today's market where you fought to get a house,
Yeah.
and you mess up because you go and get the new couch or the new truck or the new TV preparing for your new house. Wait until you have to get your house, then deal with it. So guys, what did we learn today?
Well, my key takeaway is that you can spend about a third of your income on housing.
Remember that all of your debt, including your house payment, should be about 50% of your gross income.
And the amount of debt you have has a greater impact than the amount of your income you're bringing in, because it works as a ratio.
Have you taken into consideration the number of friends you have to the number of friends you've shared this video with? Like, comment, and subscribe.
Okay, are we on video now?
We're on.
Okay, good.
So Tyler, you just bought a new car.
I'm Tyler Kazare, and I'm a real estate agent. Give me just a second. Yes.
Remember that half of that debt can be. I messed up. Half.
Thanks for watching. Your chances of progressing through life.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. The ratio of your something, ratio of your friends, the ratio of people that you'll be kissed at midnight in the mailbox. Chain letter. Chain mail? Chain letter. Like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate your comments. Okay, no, you guys always have something.
Wait.
Wow, guys, it's under 15 minutes. I am so proud of us.